Welcome to Court and Case.
Welcome to Courtroom Drama, where a 76-year-old first-time defendant, a devastated family, and a life-changing moment for a 7-year-old all collide inside one courtroom. Today, we break down the emotional case of People versus Lucille Slater.
People versus Lucille Slater.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Slater, who is approaching.
The hearing begins as the court calls the case, People versus Lucille Slater. The defense highlights that Ms. Slater, now 76, has no criminal history whatsoever. This is her first time ever dealing with the justice system. She has shown remorse throughout, and her attorney asks the judge to adopt the recommended sentence.
Your name for the record, ma'am? Lucille Slater.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the date and time set for sentencing. I have had the opportunity to review the PSIR with Ms. Slater. We only have one brief correction, and that is on page 2 under the summary. It states that she pled no contest to this charge on the date of her pretrial hearing on the 17th.
But the atmosphere shifts when the court acknowledges that this case involves a minor child. Defense argues that Slater has followed every order, appeared for every hearing, and spent nearly 7 years in her position with no incidents. Still, the other side of the story is waiting to be heard, from the child's parents themselves.
That is correct that it occurred on the 17th, but that was the date of her final settlement conference. That is the only correction we have, Your Honor. And as to the recommendation, I do believe it to be a fair recommendation, and I would ultimately ask the court to adopt it. Ms. Slater presents to the court, she's 76 years old with no prior convictions of any kind. This is quite literally her first rodeo in this situation. She has, throughout my representation of her, taken this matter very seriously and has, to me, shown a lot of remorse for her actions on that day.
When Julie and Ryan, the parents of the 7-year-old victim, step forward, the courtroom grows silent. They describe how their daughter was grabbed and yelled at school, a place where she should have felt safe. Since that day, their daughter struggles with fear and anxiety, asking questions no child should ever ask.
Prior to this incident, she had worked at this position for almost 7 years, and to my knowledge had no other prior incidents of this kind. This is her first interaction with the criminal justice system. She has expressed much remorse to me. To my understanding, she has complied with her bond to the T and has appeared in person for all her court dates. I would ask that the court adopt this recommendation.
Ma'am, is there anything you want to say before the court imposes sentence?
No.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes, I will get to that in just a moment. I was aware.
No, Your Honor.
All right. You guys are going to need to have a seat here.
What hurt them even more, they said, was the defendant's behavior afterward. According to the parents, Miss Slater hung up on the police, blocked their number, and refused to answer the door when officers came to interview her. To them, these actions showed zero remorse and zero accountability.
I'm sorry. I understand there's a victim's impact statement.
Yes, Your Honor. The minor child's mother and father is Julie and Ryan Franks. They are present.
Julie and Ryan.
Julie and Ryan.
Got it. Hello.
Hi, Your Honor.
Could you state your names for the record?
Yeah, Julie Franks.
Ryan Franks. All right, thank you. And I'll need you to take your hands out of your pockets if you would. Thank you. All right, I think we're all set now. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak today. We are here as the parents of a 7-year-old little girl who was physically grabbed and yelled at by Miss Slater at school, a place where...
The parents' plea to the court was clear and emotional. They want to ensure Miss Slater is never again in a position where she is responsible for children. Their message wasn't only for their daughter, but for every child who deserves to feel safe at school. The courtroom felt the weight of their words.
she should have felt completely safe. That Jay changed our daughter. Since then, Natalie has struggled with anxiety and fear. She often asks questions no child should have to ask. Things like, why did that happen? And will that happen to me again? It has been incredibly painful as her parents to watch her confidence fade and to see her question the trust she used to have in the adults around her. We spent months trying to rebuild her sense of safety through reassurance, through love, but this incident left a mark. It's something she carries and will carry with her forever, and something we, as her parents, will never forget. What's been equally hard is seeing how little remorse Miss Slater has shown. When police reached out to get her statement, she hung up on them and blocked their number. That forced us to move forward and press charges. When officers went to her home, she refused to answer the door, even though they could clearly hear people inside. Those actions speak volumes. They show a complete lack of accountability, of remorse, and of understanding of the harm she caused. We truly believe that if given the opportunity, she could have hurt another child. We understand that everyone makes mistakes, but when an adult's action causes emotional and physical harm to a child, that can't be taken lightly. Our greatest hope is that the court ensures that this individual is not in a position to work or be responsible for children. No family should have to go through what ours has. We're speaking today, not just for our daughter, but for every child who deserves to feel safe and protected at school. That's all any parents want, to know that their child is safe when they walk through those doors. Thank you, Your Honor, for listening to our story and for considering the impact this has had on our daughter and our family.
Thank you for coming down. All right.
As the parents finish their statement, the judge prepares to deliver a decision that could change lives on both sides. This case isn't just about punishment, it's about protection, accountability, and the lasting impact on a young child. Stay tuned for what happens next in the courtroom.